And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce our guest speaker today, Billie-Jean Peita. Billie-Jean has completed a Certificate in Communications and Media and Performing Arts at Unitec, and in November 2013 completed a Bachelor of Communication at Unitec, majoring in Public Relations. Having worked at both Auckland and Waitemata District Health Boards for 10 years as an alcohol and drug counsellor, Billie-Jean worked under the umbrella of Maori Service and worked mainly with rangatahi youth. Soon after graduating last April, Billie-Jean landed a position with Te Whanau Waipareira in Henderson, where she is a communications advisor. Welcome.
Wow, who would have thought? Me standing in one of the most prestigious, iconic buildings in Auckland, New Zealand. And here I am. First of all, though, I'd like to do a big, huge thank you to Rick Ede and all your staff here, and Master of the Ceremonies, and also the Council Chair. The very first thing, though, I'd like to say thank you is not only has Unitec given me an extraordinary honour to come here and do this, but they've also given me weeks of fear, nauseousness, sleeplessness, and I think I've lost about 10 pounds enduring the thought of doing this speech. But in seriousness, I'm so deeply humbled and honoured to be standing here before you all. And I'd like to thank all the whānau that are here today, all your friends, but most of all you graduates. It's really hot and very lit up here. However, it's not as lit up as it is that I see your gleaming faces. I was sitting in this exact same spot that you're sitting in this time last year in April in the autumn ceremony. And I took everything in. I loved every minute of it, right from the time that we arrived up at Albert Park, with all the photos and all your friends up there with your whānau taking photos. Although, I must admit that driving to Civic Car Park, I must have reapplied my makeup about 3 times. It was quite an emotional time for me. But I must say that standing or sitting where you are now, you should be extremely proud of yourselves. I know I was, and I know I still am, and I know my whānau and all my friends are. So soak it all up, enjoy the moment, bask in the moment, and don't ever forget this memory. Like I said, it was a very emotional time for me last year, but not as emotional was the 3.5 years prior to that time that I was sitting just like you are now. I chose to take a detour, if you like, in my career path. Yes, I am a trained drug and alcohol therapist, and I have been working with the DHBs for many years. However, I needed to shake it up a little bit, shake myself up a little bit, but I didn't know quite what that meant. Someone said to me, "Oh, you've come to a crossroads, Billie-Jean." Oh, well, what does that mean? It means that you're becoming complacent, you're getting too comfortable, so you need to do something about that. So I did. I did a little bit of research, talked to lots and lots of people, and I made an appointment at the careers office at Unitec and also at AUT. So after an hour's appointment at the careers office at both AUT and Unitec, I come to a conclusion that actually it is a detour that I need to take in my career path. And I love working with rangatahi, our youth. So how else can I use my skills and still do what I love doing? So after the appointment, it come to this little box and it says, well, you'll be good at doing TV presenting. I said, oh, I don't know about that. But it did take me along this communication line. And so I talked to my manager, and I said to her, I think I'm leaving. She says, no, you're not. I said, yeah, I think I am. So I jumped. And I took the biggest jump of my life because I have 3 children, and finances are a huge thing for me because I still got to take care of my family. And jumping into study, as you know, is no easy feat financially. However, I knew in my heart of all hearts that that's what I wanted to do. So I did. And I started with the certificate. Had the interview with Sarah. Thank you, Sarah. Had the interview with Sarah and started on the certificate of Communication, Media and Performing Arts, which streamlined me into a degree of communication, finishing in 2013. Yes, it was quite a, how do I put it? It was a roller coaster of a time, but I loved every minute, just like I loved every minute of my graduation last year. Even though the finances, yes, they had dropped somewhat, but I'd never really worked for money in the first place anyway. I always worked because it fulfilled me, and I always do what fulfills my heart. So, yeah, I did that. And I think 2 weeks after I graduated in April last year, I literally landed this position at Te Whanau Waipareira, and I'm one of the communications advisors there. I run a radio show every Tuesday. I deal with a lot of media outlets, from TV, newspapers, radio. So I'm doing what I always wanted to do. So you can always make that jump. I think my point here is that now the hard work really starts. The hard work really starts. And you've taken the biggest step of your lives. And I can see it in all of your faces that it was absolutely the right choice for you. Else you wouldn't be sitting right where you are right now. Whaia te kaurangi, ki te tuahu koe me maunga teitei. Now I use this whakatauki, pursue that which is precious, and do not be deterred by anything less than a lofty mountain. Now I use that proverb, it's a Māori proverb, that I kept in my heart throughout my whole study career. Because I was never going to let anything come in front of my goal. And I'm still not. So if I leave you just with one thing, when you do go out into the workforce and start your careers off, or you maybe already started, don't let anything stop you for what's burning inside your heart of all hearts. Because I never have and I never will. The last thing I do want to say is that I want to acknowledge Joss Williams and her whānau there, all the lecturers in the communications department, for they became part of my whānau. And if it wasn't for them, and yeah, it sounds cliche, doesn't it? But honestly, Joss, he piki te ora, piki te kaha, as Joss is unwell at the minute, so I did want to acknowledge her and all of her beautiful staff, because they are part of my whānau and they always will be. So I wouldn't leave you with that. I told you it's really long, so the last thing I do want to say is that I just feel really honoured and very at ease now than I was about an hour ago. But your face is all gleaming and I'm basking with you. And so a huge congratulations. May you be all you can be. Ngā mihi.
E aku nui, e aku rahi, nau mai, haere mai. Ki roto I tō tātou ne whakaruruho mō te rā nei. He whakanuia ene a tātou nei a konga. Tēnā koutou, kia ora mai tātou katoa. Well, a very, very warm welcome to each and every one of you here today. My name's Rick Ede and I'm Unitec's Chief Executive. And my first task is to say a very warm vote of thanks to Billie-Jean for your lovely story, for I think a story that will resonate with many of us here in this room today of setting a goal, of wanting to change direction, and then the support that you're able to find through Unitec to achieve that. So thank you very much for your story.